everybody, we are back. It's Midnight Rice. Steve's out of the studio today, so I figured it a good time for us to get sneaky and play some simulation games while he's not here. He's not a big fan of simulation games. I love simulation games, so without chatting too much, I'll give you the rundown of this as we go so we can get some stuff done because we got a lot to show you. I've messed around with this for a few minutes, and it is amazing. It's called GoldRush. It's based off of the TV show, and basically you're a gold miner. You start out with very little money. We're playing on normal mode. Hard mode, you start out with nothing at all. It's kind of like playing Farm Simulator. You can choose the different skill levels. I kind of went middle of the road of it. I turned off, they have machinery failures, because I didn't want to mess with that at first. I just want to kind of enjoy the game and kind of learn it, and then we come back later, we'll try to be real challenging with it and all that stuff. So, what have I done? Well, I was in town. You kind of start off in town if you haven't played this before. You got a pickup truck, which is right over there. And if you start on normal mode, you get like $400 to start out with. So I hit the bank up first. You get the first place that we're at. I don't know if I have a map or not. I think we have a map. Let's try. Is there a map? Let's see here. Ah, here we go. I got a map up. So basically, here's the town. You actually start out over here at this hotel here. You got a gas station, and this is, if you've ever played Farm Simulator, you'll kind of understand how this works too. I mean, the vehicle needs fuel. If you buy machinery, they need fuel. Wow, there's so much to go over. So we'll just get into it. So anyway, first place we started was over here. We drove down the road over this way, and we went right over here to the bank. When you first start out, you can actually take out a loan from the bank, and you also buy your parcels from the bank. We are renting a parcel. We are way down here at the old Arnold parcel, and it's kind of the beginner starting area. Usually when you play this, if you especially play on hard mode, really you're starting out with the bucket and the pan, and you got to get a little bit of gold enough so you can get some better equipment so you can start sluicing and doing all that stuff. We kind of started out middle of the road. We started out in normal mode, so I took out that loan and gave us about $2,000. Let's get back into this here. $2,000, and so we're going to set up some equipment in a second, but I wanted to kind of show you the gist of it if you haven't played it before with the bare minimums here. So we got a wash tub for rinsing our gold. We got a pan for putting the gold in to rinse out in the tub. We got a bucket to put our dirt in. Amazing voxel mapping. I'll say that right off the bat. I've seen a lot of voxel mapping before that has been impressive, but with this, it's a whole new level for what it is. You can actually move this dirt to another spot, and if we keep digging a hole and piling it over here, the pile will actually build up. See how it builds up a little bit? So I've never seen voxel mapping like that, where it was actually transferable. Usually, you know, you pull in a shovel, like if you play Construction Simulator or any of those ones, you dig up the dirt and it just kind of disappears. It doesn't actually really go anywhere. Where this one, if we wanted to, we could shovel all this stuff into a gigantic pile, which we'll probably might try. Like I said, I'm no expert on this. I've played it a few times, and I might not even be doing this the right way or the most efficient way or not, but we're just trying stuff out. So what we're going to do first, oh, and to give you a heads up here, this ground here, see how we can't dig it? The only stuff you can dig is this area right here, all the way to the bottom, and that's your pay dirt, as it may be. And then on this property, I'll give you a quick tour real quick, and then we'll get started. We have our tent, and this is where normally you do all your rinsing of the gold and stuff, but I wanted to do it outside to start, just so we can get moving with it. We got our truck there, and it uses up fuel, so you have to get gas. We have a storage building out there. We have a little building right here, an outhouse, and then when we get a little more ambitious, we got all that pay dirt too, but that's when we get to the next level. See, this works on tiers. I'll show you the tiers really quick. We'll run way back, and then we'll get past all this, and then we can just hustle in and actually start trying stuff out. So we'll bring it up here, and I'll give it that too. Another thumbs up is it gives you this guide here if you don't understand how to work stuff. Like we go to machineries and a small excavator and digging, it'll actually give you a little video on how to run the equipment, which is very cool. If anybody's ever played games like this, like construction games or farm simulator, at first you go, oh, it's a little crazy trying to figure out how to get the machines to work and everything. And you got your journal here, and this is nice. It tells you exactly what to buy, when to buy it, and how to get everything all set up. We're on tier 1 right now, so we went to the bank, we took out a small loan, we rented the parcel here. So you don't have to take out a loan at first, but it just lets you buy some equipment. Let's see, we went to the warehouse, which we'll have to go back there a jillion times, so you'll see it when we go back there. Now, see, this is what we bought and it's in the back of the truck, but I'm going to show you that quite yet, because I want to show you how bad it is to hand do this and how very little you get. But we did buy all these pieces. Now it says to buy the hog pan no pump for tier 1. We actually bought it with the pump, which means instead of before you'd have to pile your dirt in this, and if you ever watched the show, and then you'd have to pour buckets of water into it to rinse out the gold. We're just going to use a pump. It makes it a lot faster and more efficient, and just to save time, because we don't have a lot of time to keep shooting these episodes on these ones. I'm going to try to pick away with them as much as I can possibly can, and maybe we can talk Steve into playing a little bit with us. So we're on tier 1 right now. So let's just get started, and I'll show you the basic part of it. This is our little pay dirt. We're going to scoop up a pay dirt with our shovel. Oop. I hit the wrong button. E, and you fill up the bucket. Eventually the bucket will fill. Yeah, see, it'll tell us here. I got the tips on just because it's nice because it tells you. And it's amazing, too, that I found that the first time I tried it, I had this thing surrounded by buckets, thinking that'd be a more efficient way to go. And I drove to town a jillion times. Items don't disappear. It's got amazing item tracking. And then with the pickup truck, you can just pile stuff in the back of the pickup truck. And anybody's ever tried to put something into the back of a vehicle in a video game, most of the time it bounces out as soon as you move. And in this case, no, everything kind of locks down in the back of the truck. And we'll show you that in a minute. So let's get some gold here. Let's see what we got here. So we're going to dump our bucket into our pan here. The controls are a little bit tedious at times. But, I mean, that's the whole idea. It's supposed to be kind of work. So the first thing you want to do, you can use your WSAD keys to move around your pan here. And what you're going to do first is you're going to lower it down in the water using your right and left mouse buttons. See, one lifts and one puts it down. And get it down in the water. Just get a little bit of water in there. Ooh, are we going to get water in there or no? I might be because I have the bucket. There it is. So what you can do is once you get it in there, you're going to kind of shimmy it around. Come on, shimmy, shimmy. And hopefully we get some gold here. Well, see, this is the first time I've actually hand panned in a while. Alright, so then we're going to hit our shift button. That's going to bring out our tools here. We can still move the pan around. See that little speck of gold right there? We hit the button. Now what I have noticed is if you're hand panning like we just did, we just dug it up and dumped it in there, you get like one piece of gold per thing. So it's really inefficient. And right now, I have it set to, you can do imperial or you can do metric. I have it set to here because it feels like you're getting a lot more than what you're getting. Once you set it to ounce, it doesn't look like you're getting very much at all. So anyway, so what we got is we got 0.257 of a gram. So we're going to dump out the extra. Can't talk today. And we're going to get out of that. So that's basically hand panning. We could do it a couple more times, but really we're not going to get very much for it. So rather than waste a lot of time do that, we're going to take this and put it back in the tent. Oh, it's Halloween if you can't tell. Well, it's the end of Halloween. Halloween just ended, but it was kind of cool the developer put some Halloween stuff in here. So I thought that was pretty sweet of them. I know this just got a big update from what I've heard. I kind of found it on Steam and I was like, because I tried the Deadliest Catch one not too long ago, and it just wasn't. Sometimes these games that are based on TV shows and stuff, they don't find a really good developer. So the games are usually pretty wonky. The only problem I've had with this one is even with my computer setup, because my graphics card is a 970, I believe, which is starting to get a little bit aged, I do get a rapid frame drop like crazy. Right now we're running at 60, but as you get going, I'll drop quite a bit. But I got it kind of balanced out pretty good. See, I have some of the graphics turned down a little bit so we don't have to deal with that. Plus, I'm streaming it. So, all that good stuff. So, what we're going to do here, let's get set up to actually do some real work here. So, I'm going to put our bucket over here because we got some pay dirt in there. So, let's go on and load our truck here. So, for our first setup, start unloading some of this stuff. Now, I do not like some of the ways we carry stuff. See, we can't barely see. So, we'll bring our stuff across here and we'll get it all set up. And then I'll explain what everything is. So I guess I'm glad about the patches, though, because I heard from a couple, I mean, there's not a lot of videos out there. There's a couple for fairly good tutorial videos and everything, but is back in the day before the patches, you'd be driving with all the stuff in the back of your truck, and then your truck would basically, like, explode. And you have to deal with that occasionally, too. When you grab a new piece of actual machinery like that pump there, it will give you a little tutorial on it really quick, it's super awesome. Nothing I've had to do so far in the game has been confusing, like I don't know what to do, and and I've went all the way up to level 3, tier 3 I believe it was, and I really had no problem. Basically they give you the gist of it, and it's kind of up to you to figure out the best way to run all the equipment, all the lines and all that. So what we're using now is a hog pan, and the only thing that kind of sucks, especially with this dirt pile being the way it is, you only can run the hog pan in one place, and that's right here, in this little spot right here. So I wish you could move it around a little bit, because once you start digging down so far, you know, doing it the easy way, we'll leave those in there for now. We need some, oh crap. One thing we did forget to actually fill the fuel jug, so we have no fuel to run our pump. So we'll have to do that, but we'll give you the gist of it and everything. So first things first, let's get over there and start assembling some of this stuff. We'll grab this Jenny right here. A little water pump. Put our water pump right there for now. Alright, so first thing we need. See, when you're first starting out and you don't have a lot of cash, you can actually just run this top piece here. And it'll give you 2 mats to clean out. Like that. And we'll put our box on top of it. Sometimes it's a little quirky getting things to work, but when you first start out, if you don't have a lot of cash, you can actually start with this setup here. Even with the this one runs off a pump, the other one runs off hand, and it's not bad. I mean, you get a little bit, but we're gonna go right into it. Try to save some time. Now, there's a setting in there as long as you're doing it on easy or normal, where you can turn on gold nuggets, which means we have a chance every time we dump dirt into this thing is to find gold nuggets. Now, what I have found through experimentation is that once you start buying tier 2 equipment, anything that's on the tier 2 list, and we'll bring up our little thing to show you what it's talking about. And I found this out the hard way. So once you get anything, this is all tier 1. And it tells you how to work it. Where are we at here? Okay. If you buy anything off this tier 2 list, like the magnetite separator and anything that's in this little category right here, or this equipment, you'll stop getting gold nuggets, which gives you a big boost to cash. Because I went out and bought the magnetite separator. As soon as I did, the gold stopped. So until you start mining the tier 2 level, that big area over there, then you won't get gold nuggets anymore. So if you want to try to bank some cash to afford some equipment, just keep hand doing this as long as you can have the patience to do it, because it's a lot of dirt here. So also with our loan, I forgot what the payments were per day. So like right now we have 10 days to summer. So they kind of start you out like right at the tail end of winter, which gives you plenty of time to do stuff. But every day we're going to have to make a payment to the property owner and to the bank. So keep that in mind if you're just kind of moseying around. You want to hurry up and get making money, because it's going to start charging you. And thanks to that loan, we have $1,700 right now, which will get us by for a while. But you still want to kind of keep an eye on that. You want to make sure you're being productive every day, otherwise you will start losing money. And you can actually get into the black. Or red. Into the red. So, alright, let's get this all set up, and then in the next episode, we'll come in and we'll actually start using this, because I'll have to go get us some gas, and I don't think anybody wants to go to town and waste time doing that. I mean, we could if we want to. We'll see where we're at on time. So I'm going to get some buckets over there. I think this one here is the one we're going to use to rinse. So what'll happen, drop that there. Oop. Nice thing, too, is, see the bucket fell over? They'll hold whatever's in there. They don't really dump out unless you actually physically dump them out. I think, did we get all our parts and pieces? Oh, we need these mats here. I wish there was a better way to carry these things, because you do a lot of back and forth running, which is all right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay our mats in here. This was actually gonna catch our gold when we're rinsing it. Just hoping to get us all set up. Ah, see, some of the controls are glitchy, and you will get stuck occasionally. So save as much as possible. You'll go like to jump over a trailer or something. I think that's happened to me the first time, and you'll actually get stuck there, and they have disabled all cheats in this game, so there's no clipping cheat or anything. So if you get stuck and you haven't saved, you're kind of screwed. You're extremely screwed, and you have to start back over from wherever you left off. I did notice since this last patch, see these black marks here? I don't like that. That's actually like tracks in the dirt. Ever since this last patch came out, I've been having this problem. If anybody knows anything about that or how to fix it, just give me a shout out and send us an email or text or whatever to MidnightRice. Our information's down in the comments area. And if you know a solution to that, it would be much appreciated. So it breaks the immersion a little bit. But I mean, it's nothing we can't deal with. And it just started when we got the last patch in, a little update or whatever it was. Alright, so we got all our mats in place, and let's get this thing hooked up a little bit. Alright, these can be kind of confusing a little bit occasionally. I've kind of figured out how I like laying it out, because I want to be able to reach it and turn it on and off. So at first you're kind of low on gas. Alright, so we're going to grab our hose here, and this is another part that's amazing about this game. is this hose physics. You can actually stretch these hoses and then see we can coil them back up. We gotta drop this one. Can we drop it? There we go. All right, so now I got it in the water. That's gonna suck in there, and you have to put a little filter on the end, which is, like I said, it's pretty sweet. So we got our main water running in, but we can actually stretch that hose a long way because occasionally we'll have to get to equipment. I've never seen this kind of setup in a simulation game, and they did a good job. Like I said, I got a few qualms with the game here and there, but all in all, the developers did an amazing job. Like I said, I'm usually pretty nervous about these simulation games because sometimes they're either hit or miss. You know, you get like Farm Simulator, and it's just out of the park. And then I've played a couple other simulator games that are pretty awful. I mean, they're a great concept, but they spent too much time in one area versus the other area, and then you kind of get screwed. So we're about out of time, but I want to get this all hooked up. See, it says this pump's kind of nice. It says in and out. A few of the other pumps don't really have numbers on them or anything, so it's kind of confusing sometimes. So basically what we're doing is we're drawing in the water through the main line, and we got this little thing over here. Can we crouch? I think we can crouch. There we go. We got a little line out here. And see how the hoses are twisted and stuff? That does not make a difference. I was always worried it was, but I have not found a problem with that at all. And I've had hoses all just mingled up. So anyway, so it feeds out, and that's going to run our water in here. So all we're going to do here, and we can actually do it right now, but we can't, is we're going to dump our dirt in there. And that holds a bucket worth. You know, I'll tell you, we're at 24%. I think it's a couple buckets worth. So we'll fill that up, and then we're going to run water through it and make some gold. So all right, guys, I'm going to jump in our old trusty truck here. I'm going to close the tailgate, and we're going to run into town after we drop off our other bucket. I grabbed quite a few buckets because I'm not sure how I want to do this. Like I said, one time I lined buckets up around because as you dig, you're going to start getting a big hole here and start getting rid of all your dirt, and then you're going to keep running back to that. A lot of people just start out just shoveling it in right through here, and then you end up with a big hole anyway, and you're going to still be digging backwards. So we're going to try a couple different ideas. I think I do want to start on this side and just kind of clear it away to ground and keep pushing it back. Last time I put buckets all the way around, and it was pretty efficient. I got a lot of gold. But I had like 30 buckets around here, so it was a lot of just running back and forth. And it did get kind of tedious, and I was getting bored. So, all right, guys. I'll be back in the next episode. And we'll have some gas, and we'll get that sucker fired up. So we will see you in the next episode.